The S&P 500 fell 0.1% Wednesday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 260 points. It's about 0.6%. The Nasdaq Composite fell 0.3%. Stocks rallied briefly and bond yields fell after the Fed indicated it planned to make more cuts to rates. But the trading turned mixed amid uncertainty about how aggressively the Fed will be able to continue cutting rates going forward. The Fed wants to support the job market with lower rates, but it also doesn't want to risk making inflation worse. Seth Sutel, New York.
More news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is 8:20 a.m. WCPT Willow Springs and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now your WCPT 820 weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low temperature of 64 degrees and winds out of the southeast around 10 miles an hour. Thursday, lots of sun with high temperatures around 80 degrees. Friday, sunshine with a high temperature around 78. Saturday, chance of showers with a high temperature around 77 degrees. Sunday, showers and thunderstorms with a high temperature around 82 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 81.
This is Tony Moray. I'm an estate planning lawyer who drafts living trusts and wills. Since the election, I've been hearing from my clients, many of them fellow WCPT listeners. And we all wonder, how did this happen and what can we do? The how is, of course, very complicated. My thoughts as regard to what we can do is simple but important. We need to take extra care of those we love. Having an estate plan using either a living trust or will can provide comfort in uncertain times like these. When the progressive values we hold dear are under attack, I feel we must make sure that our personal lives are secure and then work out from there. I've been drafting estate plans for my clients for over 30 years, and I will use all of that experience to help you. Please call me at 847-996-0496. My website is moreylawoffice.com. That's Morey spelled M-O-R-E-E. Again, the phone is 847-996-0496. There is no cost or obligation for our initial discussion. I look forward to speaking with you.
Because facts matter. You are listening to WCPT 820.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
And we are back. Yes, it is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez, but Patti's on vacation.
Womp womp.
And if you were listening to the legendary Joan Esposito just a few moments ago, you would know that the show is being guest hosted yet again by myself, Elliott Serrano, Chicago's King of Geeks and the Chief Geek Officer for the Patti Vasquez Show. And it's I wish I had at the other station I work at, I have access to a soundboard and I can do all these things. So I could have been playing Reunited and it feels so good.
If you give me a clue, I'll
sing it?
I'll do it. I'll do all the sound effects.
It's Ken Mejia-Beal. The K&E.
The K&E is back.
We're back. We ride again. We're like Butch and Sundance, but
I've always wanted to be Sundance.
I want to be Sundance.
Oh, come on.
Okay, you can be Sundance.
Thank you.
Hey, you know what?
Come on.
Hey, man, rest in power, Robert Redford.
Yes.
I'm telling you. I was really, when they announced that he passed away, that one hit me too, because it's like he was a significant impact on my life as a young person, not only as a filmmaker, but also as someone who helped me develop certain values, because he was a person who lived his values.
Got it.
And it was great. But anyway, before we get into that, yes, Patti's on vacation. Elliott Serrano and Ken Mejia-Beal of K&E, we call ourselves the K&E show, are sitting in today. When I was here yesterday, I don't know.
You did a great job yesterday.
Thank you. Well, I was here with Victor Aragon of fandads.com.
Yes.
And someone texted the moment I came on with Victor, is Elliott cheating on Ken?
He is. No. We have an open relationship.
I don't think anybody really wants. I don't think anybody really wants to be in a relationship with me right now. I'm can I tell you something?
Sure.
I'm in the middle of a rough patch. I am in the middle of a rough patch. So, but it happens. But anyway, K&E, we're together. We're going to be hosting the show today.
Yay.
But we do have a special guest on at 6 o'clock.
Yes, a very exciting guest, by the way.
Do you know who it is?
Yes.
Tell me.
I have.
You can tell us. Who can pull it up quicker? Ellie Krug.
Yes.
KTNF host of The Illegal Trans Woman will be coming on with us at 6:05. Spoken with Ellie before.
Yes, we have.
Incredible speaker. Passionate. Very heartfelt, sincere, smart as a whip.
Very.
And I'm looking forward to that conversation. That'll be in the 6 o'clock hour. But right now, before then, you've got just Ken and I here on WCPT, the Heartland Signal, as well as the alternative talk station 1150 KKNW in Seattle. And you'll be able to, I want to say the fact that people in Seattle are listening right now, and I know they are because we had a caller from Seattle call yesterday.
That excites me.
Yeah, that really does. It excites me too.
Yeah.
And I'm also excited to know that our sponsors, Minocqua Brewing, Source Solar, and Kids Above All, continue to support the show, Driving Home with Patti Vasquez. And I have another sponsor. They haven't brought it to me yet, but I know it has to do with our phone line, which is now open, 773-763-9278. Again, it's 773-763-WCPT if you want to call in and chime in on what's been going on.
I was going to say, do you mean Credco?
I'm sorry?
Credco? Is that our sponsor?
For the
mobile phone?
The mobile phone.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that is our sponsor.
That is and if you go if you go to the website and you enter the code WCPT25, you get 25% off your total service for the next 2 years.
Yes, you do.
So yeah, but again, I don't have the actual the spiel.
We're going to get the spiel,
but we'll get it. I will make sure we get it before after the next break. In any case, we are here coming to you live from the WCPT studios on the north side of Chicago on Milwaukee Avenue. It's Elliott Serrano and Ken Mejia-Beal. And Ken, I mean, I guess before we jump in, I can tell you the Credco mobile phone and text line is 773-763-9278. And WCPT listeners now get 25% off for 2 years at Credco Mobile with the code WCPT25. Credco Mobile, a progressive phone company that is better for all people and the planet. Visit credcomobile.com. I knew you'd be there to bail me out.
That's what I'm here for, brother.
That's what you're here for. I love this man. I do. I love this man. If a straight man can love a gay man that much, it's me.
It's possible. It happens every Thursday in bars across America. Get it in right before the weekend.
That's what she said. And he said to him. In any case, I've said this before. I'm very popular in Boys Town. When I go to Boys Town, I get hit on all the time. And I am straight, but I'm not. I mean, I take it as a compliment because
we're
really,
very picky.
Really, very good looking gay men hit on me, and I'm there going, "Wow, that's good for my ego." That's kind of ego. All right. Before we get too into that, and we go through our little reunion series here with Ken, we have Jim in Chicago. He's on the line. Thank you so much for calling Driving Home with Patti Vasquez.
Yeah, all you guys need is a G in the studio to be EKG.
Oh, we need an E.
Oh, we got to get a G.
G, yes.
Yeah, we can all use one. We can all use one of these circumstances. Anyway, I was thinking about Minnesota. We won that special seat up there that, the extraordinary vote up there. We made the I think it's just the center of the House, 61, whatever it is. But they mentioned the assassin up in Minnesota. He killed the two people in their bed and shot and didn't accomplish the killing of the other two. But he had a long list of Democrats, a mile long, of Democrats he was about to assassinate. And when I saw Steve Miller talking to that Peter Thiel creation in this demented conversation where Democrats are dangerous and they have to be put not anesthetized, jailed, or whatever. Just an insane conversation. And then you have the President of the United States again talking about the left-wing psychos, the left-wing psychos. This is the United States of America. Now, I've been around for 75 long years. I have never heard anybody in any party speak like this, ever. And it is absolutely insane. And I don't know what, in God's name, how long we got to put up with this, but it is insanity to keep this up when you've got lunatics, absolute lunatics out there that are pretty good shots. This guy was a pretty good shot up in wherever the hell he was in Utah. Now, this guy that assassinated these people in bed, he wasn't 200 yards away. He got up close and personally shot them and then tried to kill two other people. Dressed as a policeman, by the way, but he had a list of Democrats he was going to assassinate. And how does the Republican Party address it? Not at all. And then we have a genocide, an insane genocide going on in Palestine, and not even lifting a finger about it. Not even lifting a finger over it. And they've got Putin running wild in the Ukraine. What is this administration doing about human life? If you guys can tell me, I don't know. But anyway, EKG for me. That's all I can say, guys. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, Jim. As always,
thank you.
Start getting us off to a start. Getting us off to a I don't know, kind of a rough start, but yeah.
That's what is this administration doing about human life? Ruining it. Yeah. That's the answer. They're ruining it, and other than that, they're not doing anything. But this administration doesn't care about human life, in my opinion. This administration cares about power and corruption and finishing what I believe Richard Nixon started many years ago, which is making America very white again.
Well, it's what the Heritage Foundation has wanted for the longest time.
Yes.
They're the ones who were dealing with picking the judges that serve on the Supreme Court. Project 2025. That's I will say this, and in no way am I absolving Donald Trump of anything. Mm-hmm. But the honest to goodness reality here, though, is that the current Republican Congress is letting him do anything. The Congress could put a check on the president, but they're not. You want to know why? Because then, if and when, and they will, and I'm not saying if, when things do fall apart, and I remember the last time we were together, I remember saying, I think something really bad is going to happen.
Yes.
Something very, very bad is going to happen.
We talked about it.
The whole thing with the Kash Patel now with the FBI and showing how incompetent he's been, it just goes, there are symptoms. There are things going on here that are going to show the United States of America is going to be caught very much unawares. And then everybody's going to say, well, but it was Trump, it was his people, when the whole time you had an entire Congress enabling and removing the check and letting him do everything, so then later on they will be able to absolve themselves of responsibility. Mm-hmm. And this is probably the most incompetent Congress I have ever seen. And I'm talking about these people are idiots. I mean, I have yet to hear a smart. I'm on paint with a broad brush. I have yet to hear a smart Republican speak out in Congress. The moment you have one representative saying, "Well, he repealed the 14th. He repealed birthright citizenship. That was good." You're talking about repealing the 14th Amendment, is what you're saying, and you're saying that's good.
Yeah, I like what I like about the KNE is that we usually have a point counterpoint, but I agree with you 100%. So I get
damn right, because I'm usually right.
Fair. I got nothing to add to this. Hey, it's very sad though. I do want to say it is incredibly sad to watch.
It is. I know. Well, I got to pull out of the spin right now. So let's get into this. Let's get into something more positive after the break. Right now, this is Patti Vasquez. The Patti Vasquez Show, brought to you by Minocqua Brewing, Source Solar, and Kids Above All. And you can call us on the Credo Mobile phone and text line. The Credo Mobile phone and text line. 773-763-9278 is how to reach us, both to call us and to text us. We'll be right back after this break on Driving Home with Patti Vasquez.
Tonight on Democracy Now!
Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are fleeing Gaza City as Israeli ground forces move in. We'll get an update. Then to Memphis. President Trump has signed an order authorizing the deployment of National Guard troops to the city. We'll speak to Tennessee State Representative Justin Pearson. And we remember the late Robert Redford in his own words.
All those stories and more tonight at 10 on WCPT 820.
When it comes to the vitamins and supplements you take, quality counts. If you have questions or concerns about the vitamins you plan on taking, we're happy to help. Mark Drugs, better health and care for you and your pets. The most common signs you need a probiotic are if you have taken an antibiotic and need to balance out the gut bacteria, you find yourself getting constantly sick, or you feel bloated, unwell, or have skin issues. We carry high-quality probiotics at our pharmacy, such as Florastor, Floragen, and what I refer to as the Silver Bullet, Orthobiotic, which combines multiple strains of beneficial bacteria and friendly yeast to stimulate optimal gut flora. Get to know your pharmacist. Caring for you, your family, and your overall well-being is what our pharmacists at Mark Drugs stand for. You have a choice when it comes to your health care, and a great choice is Mark Drugs in Roselle and Deerfield, where you get better health and care for you and your pets. Check out markdrugs.com for the pet of the month.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Yes, you are listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez, but we've got guest hosts today. It's me, Elliott Serrano, Chicago's King of Geeks, and the Chief Geek Officer for the Patti Vasquez Show, sitting in once again. Patti's on vacation. And I have, because people were asking me yesterday if I was cheating on them, I have Ken Mejia-Beal back in studio.
I'm happy to be here.
And I'm happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Man, I'm telling you, you really brighten my day when I see you. You brighten my day.
1 out of every 5 people feel that way.
Well, I'm happy to be the one. I'm happy to be the one.
1 out of every 5.
1 out of 5. Now, if you do miss the dulcet tones of a Ms. Patti Vasquez, you don't forget you can listen to, rate, and share Driving It Home full episodes and featured interview podcasts. They're both available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and Amazon. Recent additions to Patti's featured interviews podcast are Iowa Senator-elect Caitlin Dray, comedian Paula Poundstone. We gave away tickets to the Paula Poundstone performance yesterday. Paul Glastris of the Washington Monthly, candidate for the U.S. Senate Colin Allred, and columnist Heidi Stevens, who I love. I follow her on Facebook.
Got it.
She's great. And Nathan Truth of the Election Truth Alliance. Search for Driving at Home with Patti Vasquez or get links on Patti's show page by visiting heartlandsignal.com and clicking on her picture. And I'm telling you, there's so much content right now on the WCPT page.
A lot of content.
There's a lot.
Yeah. A lot of
on
content.
there. And again, because, you can miss a lot. There's a lot going on around here on WCPT. And we can't expect you to listen to every show all the time. But that's why we have podcasts, so that we can get caught up with what's been going on. Yeah. Like with Jim calling in and talking about his frustration with how things are going on with this current administration. Mm-hmm. And, when I came in yesterday, there was a lot of frustration also venting on by our callers. We have some really great, smart, passionate callers.
Absolutely.
And I kept saying, you know what, I don't know what new I can offer at this point. I know, and there are also people who are way smarter than me. I will point at you, and who are way more articulate than I am. Again, I will point at you and go, I would just let people, again, call in, vent, and say how they feel, which is why I'm going to remind you, 773-763-9278. You can text and call on the Credo mobile phone and text line, because we got corrected on that on the text line.
Yeah, Credo. I am so sorry.
No, that's okay. It wasn't. I don't think it was. Well, it could have been Credo. Going, guys, whatever. Oh, by the way, just so you know, from the 708, I love you, Ken and Elliott. I miss Patti being on the show, all used together at once. I love yous.
Well, what we will do, and we love yous too, is I think we all need to petition Patti
to get us all in the suit. She has asked. She has asked. It's like she has asked me to come in on days when you've been here.
Yes.
Right?
And you just say no.
And I can't. It's like, I feel bad because I have. It's funny. I have like 3 jobs right now.
I get
part-time jobs to try to make up for one job. So it's like my schedule's so weird. In fact, one of my jobs just asked me if I can come in tomorrow. So I'm like, tomorrow was going to be kind of like not a two job day, but it's going to be a 2-job day. So that's fine. But yeah, it's not. Trust me. If Patti asks me for anything, my first instinct is yes, I'll do it. It's just if other things get in the way, I feel bad.
It happens to all. And I was telling you during the break, this is a shameless plug. Every third Thursday of the month, I'm a trivia master at Skeleton Key in Woodridge, Illinois. So if you'd like to support me in my little side ventures, come on down to Skeleton Key in Woodridge, Illinois tomorrow. Going to have a little trivia night.
There you go.
But, we're hardworking people, and it's hard to get us all in the thing.
Yes.
Because I think between the two of us, we work 6 jobs.
Yes. So. It's like we're like the Backstreet Boys after they all broke up and went all their different ways, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's just funny. Anyway, I made this joke when I went off the air yesterday. This kind of has to do with with Jim was saying, and kind of like my whole bit with how things are going on. And it's like I've resumed therapy. I'm going to therapy.
Good for you.
So I've been doing this thing, and it's long overdue. And it's funny because this system I'm in right now, before I meet with the therapist, they have someone check in. They go, okay, hi, how are you doing today? How is this going on? And then the first question they always ask is, are you feeling depressed or despair? And I go, have you been paying attention to what's been going on in the world? And it always gets a laugh. That always gets a laugh. I go, I'm depressed. I can be depressed. I feel a little despair because of things that are going on in the world.
Is this in person?
No, these have been telehealth.
Oh, got it.
Getting a therapist in person right now, close to impossible.
I'm very jealous.
Close to impossible. Close to impossible. I had to almost go, okay, I'll do telehealth, please. Yeah. And it's been good. I
love it.
But anyway, so my last session, it started off like that. And I'm like, okay. And then as I was just finishing up with my therapist, he's like, we're booking my next bit. And he goes, we're talking. He goes, so he's just trying to make small talk. So he goes, are you into the Bears? And I go, dude, you guys preface every meeting with, am I feeling depressed or despair?
And you bring up the Bears.
And And that made him laugh.
They want to make sure you keep coming back.
Keep coming back, yeah. But to me, that's emblematic right now of kind of how I felt personally, and I know a lot of people feel this way. It is hard. It's just hard to grab onto something that brings you joy and hold on to it because so much other bad stuff is happening.
I have to tell you what I actually made this post the other day, and I think it helped me with my therapy. And so many, we have three people that live inside of all of us. You have your inner child, and your inner child is typically afraid and craves security. You have your teenage self that craves justice, and that creates anger. And then you have your adult self, which craves peace. And right now, your inner teenager is raging.
Oh, yeah.
Because your inner teenager is watching all the injustice. What you have to do is you don't put it to the back, but you have to consult with your inner adult. And you must work extra hard to find that inner peace. I encourage everyone to find that inner. I do it every morning, and what I've learned to do is I do not, under any circumstances, return any text messages, watch any news programs, anything until 10 a.m. I need to go into the world happy.
No, that's
and
good.
I think a lot of people, what they do is the first thing they do is they grab that phone and they see all the horrible stuff, and that is how you are entering the world angry. You have to enter the world in a happy place. And whatever that means for you, I encourage you to do it. For me, it is drinking a cup of coffee, going to the gym, logging into Bob's Burgers, watching Bob's Burgers on the treadmill, walking through life happily, and then dealing with the BS as it comes along. But we have to go into the world happy. That's all.
In my case, I need to stay away from sports talk, especially about the Bears.
Do, especially as a Bears fan.
The Ken and Elliott Show. What a delight. Thank you. WCPT.
Thank you.
You have the three, the teenager, the kid, and the adult. I've got two wolves inside me. One wolf is on a train leaving Boston going west. One wolf is on a train leaving San Francisco going east.
This sounds like a math problem.
One's going 100 miles per hour. The other one's going 99 miles per hour. When and where will they meet? I don't know, but we'll think about it, or maybe you guys know, after the break. Oh, my God. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez and the special guest host, Ken Mejia-Beal, and myself, Elliott, the King of Geeks, Chicago's King of Geeks, Serrano, sitting in for Patti on vacation. Don't go away. We'll be back after this break.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low temperature of 64 degrees and winds out of the southeast around 10 miles an hour. Thursday, lots of sun with high temperatures around 80 degrees. Friday, sunshine with a high temperature around 78. Saturday, chance of showers with a high temperature around 77 degrees. Sunday, showers and thunderstorms with a high temperature around 82 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 81.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Dive deeper into the heart of the news and stories at WCPT 820 and across the Midwest by checking out our website, heartlandsignal.com.
It's the coverage I can count on every time.
For the latest news updates, in-depth analysis, compelling stories, comprehensive election coverage, live streams, and thought-provoking opinions, head to heartlandsignal.com.
When I need to know, they're there.
They keep me informed and updated wherever I am.
Stay informed with WCPT 820, your go-to source for where facts matter.
Have you ever wondered why we picked the name Total Dentistry or what it stands for? This is Dr. Anna Pellick from Total Dentistry in Streamwood and Palatine. So what is Total Dentistry? T is for our team, highly trained to achieve your dental goals. O is for one-stop shop, because we can serve all your family needs in one location. T is for our advanced digital technology, which allows us to deliver your dental needs with accuracy and speed, like one-day crowns or implants. A is accommodating. Open 6 days a week from 7 to 7, our staff is here to assist you by phone, email, text, or in person. L is for loyalty, because without you, we have no future. Our growth is a direct result of you. So we take great pride in the words, "nice job," and honor treating your friends and family. So call us at 847-358-2477 or visit TotalDentistry.org. Total Dentistry, a general dental practice like no other.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
We need to speak out about this.
At 773-763-9278.
Hello.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
And hello, but it's not Patti Vasquez in the host's chair. It is Elliott Serrano, Chicago's King of Geeks and the Chief Geek Officer for the Patti Vasquez Show, joined yet again by Ken Mejia-Beal. Ken, can you do me a favor? Because I know you, and most everyone knows you, but can you explain to any audience members who are meeting you for the first time what you do?
Number one, where have you been? Number two, 'cause I've been here. Okay, so a little bit about what I do. Currently, I am the treasurer for Youth Outlook, an organization that is bringing hope and prosperity to LGBTQ youth. I'm also on the board of the campaign committee for the Victory Fund, which is the largest LGBTQ political organization in America. I'm also on the advisory panel for Equality Illinois, and we are under new leadership with CEO Shannon Lynn Parker, who is the first trans woman and trans woman, period, to trans person to head an organization of this size in the state of Illinois.
Congrats to them.
Yes,
Congrats.
she is amazing. I love her with all my heart. I'm also a writer. I write on some of your favorite programs. I also write for magazines, articles. That's what I do.
There we go. And I write comic books, which is kind of like...
Which is better
Grumpy
than
Cat.
anything that I've ever done.
I don't know. I won't go that far. Hey, he debuted on WCPT yesterday. He's calling in again today. It's Keithon calling in Chicago. How you doing, Keithon?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Am I saying your name right?
Yes, you do. You say it exactly right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, the good thing about it is that nothing bad. The government didn't come after Joan Esposito, and so we know where she is right now. They didn't, ICE didn't come and get her. But
yeah,
straight to the moment, straight to what I was talking about. America has been living the Scrooge McDuck life. Mine, go get, no matter who you have to destroy and take over, and they chase you wherever you're going and blow up the sky and everything else. As long as you get the pot of gold, your job is done. A whole lot of Americans have a pot of gold. I mean, money I've never seen. I'm 58 years old. I've never thought in my wildest dreams, even if I did do something fantastic, that I would have $1 million to just blow on somebody else to speak my mind, And when that comes, when that type of money comes with that, just speaking whatever you do, you say and do wherever the money comes from, because life is money in America. Those presidents on them dollar bills gave their souls. They are slaves when you need them to pay the workers. They are warriors when you need when you need them to pay for military and all that stuff. They gave their souls up to be on those dollar bills. So wherever those dollar bills go, the spirit of America goes. And if the spirit is evil, and those dollar bills are paying for like Jerusalem, or they're paying for charity work. It's the same evil. The money makes the difference. Every money from all over the world comes to America, and it's invested in America. It's invested in the stock market. If you don't pay taxes on all that money, how does America profit? The stock market profits on its own. It's its own entity, just like the Department of Defense. Well, the Department of the White Aryan race, as I was saying. But that just like a department, they got multiple departments. They even own the police force now. Come join us and get $50,000, $100,000. Oh my goodness! I had to join the military for 4 years to just get $25,000 just to get and when I got out, I had to go through red tape to get a house loan. All the dreams and things that America has sold to everybody on its grounds. This is the dream that they see on TV and on radio and everywhere else, and they chase it. But there's too many Mrs. The banker's wife from Beverly Hills Billies. Oh, they don't belong here, and we've been here since this establishment's been founded, and they don't want anything that doesn't go on that doesn't convert to their sort of, thinking.
Thanks. No, get it. We get it.
There's hope out there, There's hope.
Okay, yeah, Keithon, you're driving me to the bottom of the bottom of the lake right now. Where's the hope? Where's the hope? Because it's to this point, and you made me think about this, Keithon. I've been going on.
Thank you, Keithon.
Thank you, Keithon. I've been going on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And these, LinkedIn is supposed to help you find a job. And
allegedly,
good luck. That's
I
not, yeah.
I feel like LinkedIn is a great place for people to brag about what they have, and throw it in her,
and then add to that.
Yes.
Talk about how great AI is.
Yes. So continue.
But anyway, there are these ads I've been seeing on LinkedIn where it says, "Be ready to retire. Is $1 million enough?" And I'm going, holy crap. If I had saved every penny that I made from my career from when I first started working when I was a teenager to now, I still wouldn't have saved $1 million. I never would have had $1 million. But you've got people out there right now who've got $1 million+ in their retirement accounts, and you got LinkedIn out there going, well, is that enough for you? Which makes you think about Keithon saying, there's some people who got a lot of money. They want to hold on to that money.
Yeah.
I'm hearing all these ads on the radio about, no, you worked hard for that money. You shouldn't have to give up any of it. And they're going, really? Really? So you're going to make all that money? You don't want to pay any taxes on it? That's the way we want to go with it now?
Well, this is my sad reality that I came to a couple of weeks ago. I was looking at my retirement accounts, and I've been frugal my whole life. So let's just start.
I'll tell you, my retirement account, when I look at mine, that's another touch point of despair for me.
Well, I've been frugal, but a friend of mine invited me to Europe, and I said, no, I can't. I've come to the conclusion I'm never going to retire. So I am done struggling. I'm going to go to Europe. I'm done saving for retirement. I am never retiring.
Because you're probably young.
I have accepted it. I am going to work until I die.
Until you die.
So here I come, Europe, Australia, Asia. I'm doing it. I'm never going to.
Why save all that money and then like when you're like 60-something years old, like you never went to Europe and have coronary or something.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm going to die at work.
So in other words, you're not going to leave me as a beneficiary on anything because you're not going to have any money left anyway.
I'm going to have just enough to cremate me and spread my ashes somewhere.
It's going to be like it's like the episode of Seinfeld where George Costanza's parents decided they weren't going to leave any money to George. They were just going to spend everything. And George was like mad about that. Yeah,
I don't have kids, so I feel like 2 weeks ago, and I got home and my partner was like, Ken, why do you have so much Haagen-Dazs? And because I bought 10 cartons. I'm just spending my money. And I said, because I'm going to die at work. And he was very confused, and I was a little high. But you know what? That's okay, because I'm never retiring.
Well, if you want, there is a money-making venture we can go into. It's sent in on the text line.
Yeah.
A person can make a fortune selling white T-shirts embossed with the Epstein birthday card. It could be done before the holidays, and think of the profits if the Trump tariffs are deemed illegal. These T-shirts might look good. These T-shirts might look good on a member of Congress. Prediction: T-shirts will make money. Soybeans, corn will not. This is courtesy of Dogman.
Thank you, Dogman.
Thank you, Dogman. All right, real quick. I know we have Dave on the line, calling from Hoffman Estates. Let's get Dave in before the break. Hi, Dave. How you doing?
Oh, okay. Hey, I don't know which one was it. You, Elliott, or Ken talked about wolves. 2 wolves.
That would be me. Yeah. I have 2 wolves inside me. Well, one is at a train leaving New York, and the other one's in a train leaving San Francisco. I was actually kind of making a joke, but yeah, it doesn't always go over.
Hey. I got something, this was a good 5 years ago, back up where I used to live. And it's kind of like a proverb or whatever. He goes like this. An old man told his grandson, "My son, there's a battle between 2 wolves inside us all. One is evil. It is anger, jealousy, greed, resentment, inferiority, lies, and ego. The other is good. It is joy, peace, love, hope, humility, kindness, empathy, and truth." The boy thought about it and asked, "Grandfather, which wolf wins?" The old man quietly replied, "The one you feed." Pretty deep. I thought that's pretty deep.
Yeah, it is. No, it is very deep. That's
that. I think, Dave, everyone should really soak that in and absorb it, because we really do make our own destiny, if you will.
And to the point you made, Ken, when you wake up in the morning, the way you want to wake up in the morning is really important too.
I agree.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna choose happiness. I'm gonna feed the wolf. Feed that wolf.
But before we feed the wolf, can I tell you what's going to happen tomorrow morning on Choose Clues? Tomorrow on Choose Views, Richard Chu will be joined by John Lash, mayor of Aurora and former Navy intelligence analyst. Andy Levin, founder and chief strategist of Lean and Green Michigan and former congressman representing Michigan's 9th District. Tom Ginsberg, professor of international law at the University of Chicago, director of the Forum for Free Inquiry and Expression, and author of How to Save a Constitutional Democracy. Choose Views weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. Central on WCPT 820 AM, the Heartland Signal, website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook.
And you can call us on the sponsored Credo mobile phone and text line, which is 773-763-9278. And if you are a WCPT listener, you can get 25% off of 2 years at Credo Mobile with the code WCPT25. Credo Mobile, a progressive phone company that is better for all people and the planet. Visit credomobile.com. We'll be back after this break. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez with guest hosts Elliott Serrano and Ken Mejia-Beal. I've got to feed my happy wolf. We'll be right back.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
When's the last time you felt in awe of something? Felt good, right? The only thing better is probably seeing your kid experience it and the look that flashes across their face. Author Deborah Farmer-Criss is out with a new book called Raising Awe Seekers: How the Science of Wonder Helps Our Kids Thrive. She calls awe an emotional superfood, citing science that shows wonder supports our mental, physical, and emotional well-being. Awe prompts us to be kinder and humbler. It quiets mental chatter. It increases curiosity, helps us feel more connected to other people. It has even been found to reduce biomarkers of stress and inflammation. Now, if you want to help your kid experience this incredible feeling, really think about what lights them up and then lean into it. It'll be worth the time, the money, and the effort. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
Lowe's knows how to get you ready for holiday hosting with up to 35% off select home decor. And get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, members get free delivery, haul away, basic installation, parts, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select LG major appliances. Valid through 10/1. Member offer excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Florida. Installed by independent contractors. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more.
This is WCPT 820. where facts matter.
Welcome back to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
We are driving it home, but Patty's on vacation, and the duo of K&E, that's Ken Mejia-Beal and Elliott Serrano, are in studio holding down the fort in her absence. Patti will be back in the coming week. We've been talking to callers for the most part. We've had a lot of our regulars chiming in, and I can't tell you something. I have yet to see everyone go, wow, yay, they're dead. Like you guys did when Jody is on the line.
We are excited to have Jody on the line.
Jody's on the line, and Jody, Ken and Lady B cheered when they saw it was you. So, hey, Jody, how you doing?
Oh, Jody.
I love it when you two are together. You make me laugh. I had to text Ken, and I'm like, I'm so tempted to call in. He's like, call.
It's like, I can't text you. I'm working right now, Jody. Call me.
This is the only way. I was telling B, who is my best friend, by the way, I was just like, this is the only way I get to talk and or see my friends. Is I have to call the station. I know. But I will see you tomorrow.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, we're going to go, because I'm going to go to Ken's your gig
trivia.
tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. Trivia.
You're going to have a great time at the Skeleton Key in Woodridge, Illinois. 6:30 sign-up time. That's a plug.
I think everybody should go because Ken, just being Ken, is incredibly entertaining.
Well, Jody, can I ask you a question? Because you're calling.
Please.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing and who you're working with right now?
Yes, I'm working for the incredible Junaid Ahmed. He is one of a few folks, as we know, that is running for Raja Krishnamurthy's current congressional seat. As we know, Raja is going for Dick Durbin's seat, and he is. I have my reasons why I feel like Junaid really stands above the other folks, but I encourage them. Please check out the website. It's junaidforus.com, and that's spelled JUNAID for FORUS.com.
That is junaidforus.com, folks. Junaidforus.com. Continue.
Oh, no, thank you so much. I love this. Well, I love you anyway.
Feelings mutual.
Big hugs tomorrow. But yeah, like I said, Junaid is just, he doesn't see this role as a stepping stone. He actually sees this as the way to amplify the work that he is already doing. He has been doing philanthropy for years. During COVID, he actually created Shy Cares, which fed people. I mean, go figure.
Yeah.
And they're working on housing and all these other things. And I was super psyched when he got to have a lovely conversation with Patti about everything that he's been doing. I'd love to continue these conversations and just get Junaid in front of everybody. But yeah, definitely, folks, please check out that website. I wish I could claim that I did the website, but someone else gets that joy because it's just so well put together. It's got his background, it has all of his stances. It's very, very thorough. But yeah, but anybody can always reach out to me too.
And
I'm his biggest person. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And Jody, that is Illinois Congressional District. What number, please?
Oh,
is
yes.
it 8?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It is the 8th. Yes.
Illinois Congressional District 8. Junaid, JUNAID for us.
Yeah, .com. Thank you so much. Yeah. Please check him out. Don't take my word for it. And we're trying to get as many gigs for him out there just to get him in front of folks because he's just in his element when he gets to talk to people. He's just very genuine and really good man. Awesome family. I just can't say enough.
I will say, and this is not an endorsement of any kind, so don't anybody yell at me or anything, but when I became the chair of the Democratic Party of DuPage in 2021, I think, Junaid was one of the first people to reach out to me and not ask for anything. He reached out just to say, congratulations, I am Junaid. This is what I do in the community. This is what I do in the county. And I was so used to people reaching out to ask for something that I was like, okay, and what do you need? And he was like, nothing. And that's just who he is as a human being. So that's all I'll say.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. I mean, he touches you. I feel like he sells himself.
Yeah.
You just put him in front of somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, so yeah. So I just want everybody and anybody who's listening, any chance you get out and meet the man. He would love it.
Well, that was
and he's
glowing endorsement, Jody. And thank you so much for calling. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Me too. And I have ideas as to how you and I can actually retire, but I probably shouldn't say them online.
We'll save them for later. We'll save them for later. I'll see you tomorrow, Jody.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
Bye.
I sense an Ocean's 11 scenario coming on here.
Yep, I do too. That's why I said let's talk in person because they'll shut us down. They'll shut it down.
We're gonna put a crew together. It's gonna be one of the. We're gonna all retire on this one,
and it's gonna involve me dressing in drag. I don't know why, but it will. Watch out, world.
I'm pretty sure that was in the women's of Ocean's 11. Or was it Ocean's 7, the one that Sandra Bullock. Yeah, and all them. Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm not
me either. So, really quick. Speaking of congressional races, what congressional district are you in?
Oh God, I'm ashamed of myself. I know.
Don't say you don't know.
I know who my representative is,
and that is
Crespo.
That's he's a state senator.
I mean,
a state rep. I'm sorry.
Is he a state rep?
He is. So your state congressional. I think you're in Raja's district then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Raja. Yes. Because I get all the mail from him.
Yes, that's congressional district 8. We have a lot of hotly contested seats here in Illinois.
Yeah.
My congressional district, I think we're going to have 20 choices, 20 options. I think. I'm a little excited about that. I think you have like 12.
Yeah, I've had to look at it because, again, the mail's rolling in, all the different the promotional pieces. I'm like, okay. I mean, I'll be honest. I try to be a very educated voter.
Yeah.
And half the time I don't even look at the promotional pieces because it's obviously manipulative. And there was a time once when if they sent me something that was talking about the opponent, I just assumed it was a lie. Because a lot of the time, they're just making stuff up about the opponent. So I wouldn't pay attention to that. So then I got to do my deep dive into the comparatives online about which candidate more closely reflects my values and so on.
I will save you time. Do you know what I do now? I wait. And folks, I hope you forget everything I've ever said. Listen to this. I vote based on people's endorsements now. Not necessarily positive. I look at who is endorsing you, and then I look them up. Because if you are being endorsed by horrible human beings, you have lost me. Because there are folks like, I'm being endorsed by this person, and I won't say any names, but it was a Democrat that voted against the minimum wage increase. And it's like, okay, got it. I'm so happy this person endorsed you. There's no way in hell you're getting my vote. Because these endorsements, you have to look at them. I look at them like NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people that are sponsoring you. These are the people that are gassing you up.
Right.
So if you're being sponsored by folks that also sponsor genocide, social injustice, anti-democracy, got it. You will not get my vote. It makes my life easier.
No, that's a good way of. I mean, when you have a lot to go through,
that's what I mean.
It's a good way to, work your way down to the ones that are the better for you.
I met one of the congressional candidates in my district, and I won't say their name, but I saw that they were endorsed by someone. So when I met her, she goes, "Oh, blah blah blah." I was like, "I know who you've been endorsed by. There's no way in hell I'm voting for you."
Ooh, and how did they react to that?
It was a drawback. It was she drew back, and then I continued on with my life because I got nothing to lose.
Yeah, really.
You're not winning.
I was. I will say this. I will say this. Speaking, I do this part-time bartending gig out in Marengo, and I was there, and it was a Sunday during the day, and it was a whole bunch of people came in, and they said that they were a quote-unquote Republican pub crawl.
Jesus.
And there were essentially all these candidates who were collecting signatures for their.
That's not a sign of the apocalypse.
Right, but they were all coming in, and they were like maybe a handful of folks in there, and they got these people just. My one buddy, I won't say his name, but he was there. He was like signing everything. He's a Republican, but he's signing everything. And here's the thing. And they filled up the place, and they talked, and they kept saying, oh, I'm so-and-so, I'm running for this, I'm so-and-so, I'm running for that. I said, look, first, I don't live in this county. I'm a registered Democrat. If my name shows up on your petition, they're going to throw it out. So I'm doing you a favor right now. So that's why I didn't sign anything. But here's the thing. They left. They didn't buy a single drink.
Of course
they didn't leave a tip. They came into the bar. They took over the bar, calling it a pub crawl. I'm doing the air quotes, folks, for folks who are watching on the Facebook. And they didn't buy a single drink.
So what you're saying, the group of Republicans came into a space that was thriving and contributed nothing of value to it and left. Got it, Elliott. Shocker. Shocker. I can't believe it.
From the 847. If Ken is in drag, does that make elegant a bossy top? Wow.
Absolutely. I'm down for it.
And Mark says the K&E show is back today. Awesome to hear you guys tonight. It's great to be back.
Thank you. But if we have time, can I tell you what's going to be on tomorrow with Joe Esposito?
1 minute.
Yep. Tomorrow on live, local and progressive, Joe Esposito's guests are Eric Zorn, writer, publisher of the Peking Sentinel. I apologize. Lisa Graves, legal expert and executive director of True North Research, and Heartland Signal's Rich Urberwine with 3 stories you might have missed from our digital newsroom. Live, local, and progressive weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Central on WCPT, Chicago's progressive talk for 20 years.
Look at you. I remember when we first started, you didn't like the live reads.
Because I'm kind of illiterate.
Oh, you're not. Look at you.
It's a joke. I can't pronounce hard words. I'm from Arkansas. That part isn't a joke. I'm doing the best I can with what I got.
That part I'm getting. I'm not gonna flame the good state of Arkansas.
Thank you. We're good people.
Alabama, on the other hand,
those are bad people. They have way more Piggly Wigglies than people. It ain't natural.
I've always wanted to go to a Piggly Wiggly.
I'll take you to one in Arkansas.
My new thing is the Casey's. That's been my new thing.
Oh.
All right, folks, when we come back, we're going to have Ellie Krug, KTNF host of the Illegal Trans Woman, joining us. Ellie Krug out of Minneapolis, St. Paul on AM950 radio, which carries our second hour. So we're looking forward to speaking with Ellie. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez with special guest hosts Ken Mejia-Beal, Elliott Serrano, Chicago's King of Geeks and Chief Geek Officer for the Patti Vasquez Show, and frequent guest host here on WCPT. Can we put pictures of you in drag out there on the Facebook?
I don't have any.
Oh, you brought me to the edge and then you left me there.
The story of my dating life.
All right, folks, we will be right back. We've been joined by Ellie Krug here on Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT.
Still struggling with gas, bloat, constipation, nausea, or diarrhea? Have you tried eliminating foods but felt no change? It's time to call the tummy whisperer, Renee Barish, at Digestive Health Solutions. Renee uses targeted testing to reveal exactly what's happening in your gut. Gut bacteria plays a key role in all your body functions, from cardiovascular regulation to brain function. When the gut is imbalanced, you may experience symptoms that extend beyond the gut, such as anxiety, skin issues, poor sleep, or increased risk for disease. Digestive Health Solution uses advanced testing to identify harmful microbes and evaluate the overall balance of the gut ecosystem. Get insights into your health, digestion, and how your microbiome affects all aspects of your body. Stop suffering. Call Renee now at 847-207-2034 or visit thetummywhisperer.com. That number is 847-207-2034. Let's get you feeling better. The Tummy Whisperer.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. President Trump's been basking in British pageantry. Sakamagani reports King Charles is hosting him on an unprecedented second state visit.
It's aimed at boosting ties as the president's policies put pressure on allies worldwide. After a horse-drawn carriage procession, the president and king walk through Windsor Castle's courtyard, inspecting an honor guard. Inside its chapel, the president placed a wreath in memory of Queen Elizabeth. There was a tour of 18th century paintings and documents.
Oh, well, that's great.
With the president visibly amazed by papers on U.S. independence. The Trumps, King and Queen Camilla, also took in a centuries-old military parade ceremony on the East Lawn, punctuated by the Royal Air Force's aerobatics display team thundering overhead, leaving streaks of red, white, and blue smoke in their wake. I'm Sagar Meghani.
Back in this country,
today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to lower our policy interest rate by 0.25 percentage point.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell says while inflation remains a concern, so now is the labor market.
The market slowing in both the supply of and demand for workers is unusual. In this less dynamic and somewhat softer labor market, the downside risks to employment appear to have risen.
President Trump's new appointee to the Fed, the lone dissent, pushing for a larger half-point cut. Wall Street churned in reaction, the S&P and the Nasdaq closing modestly lower, the Dow higher. On Capitol Hill, fired CDC Director Susan Menares had a warning for senators about anti-vaccine policy stances.
It does put at risk our children. It puts at risk others who need these vaccines. And it takes us into a very dangerous place in public health.
The CDC panel is expected to vote on new vaccine guidelines this week. This is AP News. The Big Dumper's been one of the big stories of this baseball season, and Gethin Coolbaugh reports he's setting new milestones.
Cal Raleigh has broken Mickey Mantle's record for home runs by a switch hitter. Raleigh hit his 55th and 56th homers of the season in consecutive at-bats against the Royals on Tuesday night. He tied the Mariners record set by Ken Griffey Jr. Raleigh hit his 55th homer in the third inning batting left-handed. He then hit his 56th in the fourth batting right-handed. Griffey set the Mariners record with 56 homers in 1997.
It's an honor. Anytime that you mention with legends.
Raleigh received a standing ovation from Mariners fans and applause from Royals fans. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
The Mariners are in Kansas City playing the Royals again tonight, game 152 of their season. There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low temperature of 64 degrees and winds out of the southeast around 10 miles an hour. Thursday, lots of sun with high temperatures around 80 degrees. Friday, sunshine with a high temperature around 78. Saturday, chance of showers with a high temperature around 77 degrees. Sunday, showers and thunderstorms with a high temperature around 82 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 81.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
You're listening to WCPT 820, because facts matter.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing ass says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
And we're driving it home with guest hosts, not Patti. If you're wondering, wow, that doesn't sound like Patti. It's because it's not.
It's not Patti.
It's the duo of K and E, Ken Mejia-Beal and myself, Elliott Serrano. You may know us as, again, K&E. I'm Patty's Chief Geek Officer, also known as Chicago's King of Geeks. Ken Mejia-Beal, a player in the Illinois Democratic Party. Treasurer for
Youth Outlook.
And doing a lot of good in the community, and also depressing me during the break. I mean, come on.
Sorry.
It's telling me about documentaries I don't want to see. All right.
Sorry, it's really not funny.
Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm seeing stuff coming in on the text line. But anywho, we do have a guest on the line. Yes. We have. I've been looking forward to this ever since I knew that that they were going to be on. Ellie Krug from KTNF 950 AM. Can we also welcome 1150 KKNW in Seattle, as well as our listeners here on WCPT AM820 in Chicago and on the Heartland Signal. But yes, Ellie Krug is the host of The Illegal Trans Woman and joins us now here on Driving Home with Patti Vasquez. How are you doing, Ellie?
Elliott and Ken, thank you for having me. I am, people have been asking me how have I been doing. And I've really stopped doing that, customary Midwestern thing where you say, oh, just fine. And I've just started saying, not very good.
No, and sometimes you got to put it out there. You got to say sometimes, you're right. There's this whole bit where it's like, yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm cool. And the subtext is, no, the world, I am not doing fine.
The world is on fire.
And I would think also for trans people in this country where okay, so I work at another radio station in the burbs, and it's in the middle of a very conservative area, and there are some guests that come on from time to time who are incredibly conservative, and I have to kind of like bite my tongue when they start going into trans issues because it can easily start into a fight on air, and it's not going to be very productive. And I sit there and I go, why do we have to make it that everyone has to live according to our beliefs and nobody can be who they want to be, which is essentially what's happening right now. And no one's being, I don't think in recent history have we seen any minority in our country affected as dramatically and as devastatingly as the trans community.
I agree.
Well, thank you for that.
I agree.
And I wish that we could just stop there, okay?
Yeah,
and just say, it's been horrible, all right? But it's not been. And I just want to make sure that everyone understands that from whatever I say between now and when I'm done on your show, it's horrible that Charlie Kirk was murdered, okay? I want to make sure everybody understands that. I'm not an advocate ever for violence. I'm actually, if you read up on me and you know my work, it's all about compassion and spreading that because I'm Buddhist. I'm a Zen Buddhist. But I'm here to tell you it's not going to stop with my community. I mean, yesterday we've got Nancy Mace, the incredible homophobe but transphobe, talking about transgender people needing to be placed in straitjackets and locked up. And then we have Ronnie Jackson, Representative Ronnie Jackson. You remember that name, right? From, Trump's former physician turned Texas Democratic lawmaker, representative. We have Ronnie Jackson with on the Finnerty podcast, which I had never heard about before, talking about how transgender people have psychiatric illnesses, which he referenced gender dysphoria as a, quote, real psychiatric issue, and then going on to talk about how transgender people need to be institutionalized. Now, this is, like wholesale institutionalization. He goes on to say in that podcast, we have to treat these people like transgender people. We have to get them off the streets, and we have to get them off the internet, and we can't let them communicate with each other. I'm all about free speech, but this is a virus. This is a cancer spreading across the country. He is talking about transgender people, particularly transgender women, saying that they are violent, that they're angry. And, of course, now people are listening to Ellie Krug on your show, and they're hearing my passion. But I've just got to tell you, this is now, we've moved from reporters asking questions of the White House of whether they were going to institutionalize transgender people in the wake of the Annunciation Church shooting about 3 weeks ago. We've moved from a reporter asking about that and Carolyn Levitt saying, I'll have to get back to you on that question, to those in the administration talking about the need to round up transgender people. Now we have elected representatives saying that. They need to round us up and institutionalize us. And I've just got to tell you, for people who are trans listening to me, or non-binary, or have those folks in their lives, I have to tell you, there is a degree of terror spreading through my community right now. Mm-hmm. So we don't know where this is going to end. And I hate to be like, Debbie Downer, but I am very concerned with this administration that he will issue another executive order akin to what Roosevelt issued in 1942 for Japanese Americans, placing them into, 120,000 Japanese Americans into detention camps. I don't think this is at all beyond the pale. I mean, I am working on my financial affairs, like a power of attorney to give to someone who can prevent my house from being taken away if I'm taken away.
I would say at this point that there are no words that can describe the sense of outrage I'm feeling right now and the utter despair that I know that many people feel in hearing this. And I'm trying to wrap this around, and I really think, again, to the point that you're making, it needs to be repeated, because a lot of times, again, when I talk to quote unquote conservatives who think that we're making a big issue of certain things, that, oh, no, it's not going to be like that. That's not what's being meant. And yet the communities that are being affected by the decisions that are being made by the people in power, they seem to be very willfully ignorant of what the effects are happening at this point. Ellie, I'm sorry, we got to hit a break real quick.
Yes.
But can you please hang on with us? We're going to get through this break.
On that high point.
Yeah, really. No, when we get... Oh, wait, let's take a minute. Let's hold on. We don't have to go just yet.
Okay.
What I would like to think at this point, and I know this is a tough thing to do, but yes, it's incredibly difficult. It's a very somber thing to be facing. But now we have to say, what do we actually do at this point? You say you are doing things right now, getting power of attorney, getting your affairs in order in the event something happens. Like, what are things that folks in the transgender community can do? And also, what are things that allies can do?
Well, folks in the trans community can start creating Plan Bs. I mean, that's really, and they're doing that. I'm not like giving them a news flash. Mm-hmm. What allies can do is start talking about this. I mean, if you go to like the summary of the news, even today, because right now Jimmy Kimmel is at the top of the news feed. Okay.
Yeah, he just got suspended indefinitely. Yeah.
Yeah, for nothing. Okay, for nothing. But these comments about trans people aren't even being reported. They're not, and we need people talking about this, because they're going to come in from the back door against my community. We're going to wake up, or it'll be a 5 o'clock, on the West Coast news dump, where the executive order is announced, giving them 2 days without the courts being open to go start rounding up transgender people. I mean, I wish I was making this up, And so what our allies can do is at least recognize that this is a distinct possibility and start talking about it, about how wrong it is, with their neighbors, with their friends, with their elected representatives, getting on the air to talk about it. You know, the biggest problem my community has is that very few people know somebody who's transgender. So they don't know somebody, talking to, back in the 80s and the 90s, where nobody knew somebody who was gay or lesbian. Okay? Well, when you don't know somebody, it's a whole lot easier to think of them as other and then just to toss them away.
Whew. All right. Well, we need to continue this discussion.
Yes, we do.
We need to talk about this. We want to think about what are ways that we can talk about it. And we're going to do that right after this break. We are joined by Ellie Krug and of KTNF AM950. And this is a WCPT AM8. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit.
No, it's fine.
I'm a little thrown off. I'm WCPT AM820 here on the Heartland Signal and Chicago's Progressive Talk. And I need a moment to pull myself together here because this is incredibly upsetting. Hearing this, I mean, I'm not ignorant of what's going on, but folks. This is what we need to listen to. So let's come back after the break and have our ears open and listen. We'll be right back.
WCPT will be broadcasting a live in-person Union Strong panel on Wednesday, October 15th from 3 to 5 p.m. And you're invited. Join me, Tom Hartman, and WCPT's morning host, Richard Chu, at the Ironworkers Local 63 Training Center in Broadview. Panelists include Paul Wendy from Ironworkers Local 63, Rob Fulton from Riggers Local 136, Cliff Horowitz from Horowitz and Associates, Andy Rico from IBEW Local 176, and Tom Villanova from Southland Friends of Labor. This event is proudly sponsored by Ironworkers Local 63, Riggers Local 136, Horowitz and Associates, IBEW Local 176, and Southland Friends of Labor. Wednesday, October 15th from 3 to 5 p.m., Ironworkers Local 63 Training Center, 2523 Lexington Street in Broadview. That's just off the 25th Street exit on the Eisenhower Expressway. All listeners must register to attend this free event at WCPT820.com. Just click on the banner.
There are 1,000 ways to say it.
Nope. Knock it off. Shut it down. Dream on. No dice. Give it a rest. Not a chance.
Or just
all text. You focus on the road.
As a passenger, you have the power to prevent an accident. There are 1,000 ways to stop a distracted driver. Choose one.
A message from CTIA.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
From city streets to political beats, you're driving it home with Patti Vasquez. Where progressive talk fuels the ride.
This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez with special guests, host Elliott Serrano and Ken Mejia-Beal. We have Ellie Krug from KTNF, host of the Illegal Trans Woman, on the line, guesting as she does once a month. And very grateful to have you on, Ellie, and talking about the realities of what the trans community is facing. And I'm going to be honest, again, I'm a tad rattled right now.
Can I?
Yeah, go on.
Can I interject?
Go on.
Ellie, I do have to say this. I work with a lot of trans youth, and just you telling us with your words and how to mobilize and humanizing this very real issue is more courageous than you can ever imagine. So I just want to personally thank you for the work that you are doing on behalf of the community. And it means a lot. Your words mean a lot. So thank you.
Well, Ken, thank you for that. That's very kind of you. I mean, we need to make sure that we thank Patti and her team, because she's been having me on her show, regularly for most of this year. And so, I mean, she's been able to help elevate my voice. And so that, the problem is, I really do think that most people are kind and have good hearts. I do. I continue to believe that even now. I'm on the record as saying 98% of all people have good hearts. 2% incredibly challenged. Unfortunately, they're leading our government right now. But and I've said that on this show before. The problem is when we're afraid, when we don't know other, when we have no understanding of what it means to be them, it's easy to have your fear stroked. And it's easy for you to feel, somebody to plant in your mind, alienation. Now, we have seen that, of course, in this political climate with our, folks foreign born, our immigrants. We've seen that. We've seen that with our people of color, that they've been able to start erasing the history in America right now as it relates to enslavement of humans and the fight for the civil rights, and that civil rights movement. With transgender people, we are just such an easy target. Mm-hmm. We are. Think of what's going on right now. You're talking to a woman named Ellie Krug who has a man's voice. So, your listeners, very big hearts, most very liberal, okay? But people, if they were listening to me right now on national media, all right, there would be a large percentage of people in their head saying freak. Okay? How could that be? What a freak. And the reality is, I am no different than anyone else. I got to my womanhood a different way than many women. But boy, this thing about being transgender, and I'm assuming you can absolutely identify this thing about how our brain gets wired. Mm-hmm. We don't have a choice about that.
I fundamentally understand.
It just happens.
Yes.
It just happens. And why can't we understand that just like we accept left-handed people, mm-hmm. we have to accept who are wired that way, that we can accept other people who are wired differently from us. And by the way, many of those who are intolerant are wired differently. Mm-hmm. They're just scared to death to allow their authenticity to show.
I 100% agree.
The thing that gets me...
I really do.
This is the thing that gets me. It's like, first, transgender people have been around for a long time. I mean,
since the beginning of time.
Yeah, it's like there are people. I talked to some folks about it. It's like they think it's some new thing. I've talked about this before, Ellie. There was an episode of The Love Boat that dealt with the issue of transgender people. Gopher met an old college roommate who transitioned, was no longer a man, was now a woman. Mm-hmm. And it was him dealing with the idea of a transgender person. Now, this is The Love Boat, the top-rated, at that time, the top-rated television show in America, dealing with that particular issue. And no, it was like, yeah, we talked about it. And you didn't see people, wanting to burn down the television station because they talked about transgender folks. And this was the way America, we were more accepting then. But it's because a particular party needs an enemy to be able to demonize and blame for the ills of our nation. Yep. Then they go after because I'm sorry, Ken, can't go after gay folks anymore because we've accepted them, right? You can't do that. You got to have your gays for Trump, right? Mm. So now let's go after yet a smaller minority, which is, again...
It's disgusting.
It's really. I'm sorry, Ellie.
I just wanted to share this with you and Ellie. My grandmother was a devout Christian and was a huge gay rights activist, trans rights activist, and HIV/AIDS activist. And as I got older, I asked her once, "How did you reconcile your Christianity?" Because I was in a place of that's a whole other show for another day. But my point is, I asked her, how? And she gave me the most simple answer. I'll never forget it. She said, "My dear, there is nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new." And that's what made it so easy for her to advocate and be an ally and show, because for her, everything that we are simply just discovering, I'm using bunny ears, has always been here. There's nothing new.
Right.
And that's all I wanted to share. There's nothing new under the sun.
No, and Ken, thank you for that. I mean, that's important to tell that story, because when we hear those stories, we identify with that with other people in our lives. The reason they're not going after gay and lesbian people is because many of those people in power have gay and lesbian relatives.
Yes.
Children or grandchildren or a niece or nephew, and they can't bring themselves, okay? They can't bring themselves to demonize that community. But again, we're back to the fact that many people don't know transgender people, or at least don't know that they've ever knowingly met someone. And it's because when, you come out as gay or lesbian, it's not a whole lot of work for people in your life. But when you transition genders, I mean, it's a new name, it's a new appearance, pronouns, all of that stuff. And a lot of people just think, why? This is a choice. You don't have to be this way. But go and talk to the father of a 3-year-old transgender kid who says, my kid has been saying that she's a girl, okay, even though identified as male at birth, ever since they were 2 years old and could speak. Okay,
Correct.
I mean, this stuff is it's all, we're back to the wiring thing, but the reason I said the thing about Kirk at the beginning of this, me speaking with you, is that because they are desperate to hang Charlie Kirk's murder on quote unquote transgender ideology, even though, it was, Tyler Robinson's transitioning transgender roommate and love interest, okay, who cooperated fully with the police, who gave them everything that ended up, a lot of it is very incriminating for Tyler Robinson. But they want to twist all of this. They want to make transgender people out as the most dangerous people in America.
Absolutely.
And hence, that's why we need to round them up. I can't fully express. I am a strong person. I am a tough nut. But you know what I did last week? I took the HRC equal sign symbol off the bumper of my car. Human Rights Campaign, equal sign, listeners will know what it looks like.
Yeah.
I took that off my car.
And I'm afraid with that, we're going to have to leave it at that. Ellie Krug, thank you for joining us. And this has been Ellie Krug, the host of The Illegal Trans Woman from KTNF AM950 in Minnesota. On that somber note, we need to go to this break. You're listening to the Driving Home with Patti Vasquez on WCPT, the Heartland Signal. We'll be back.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low temperature of 64 degrees and winds out of the southeast around 10 miles an hour. Thursday, lots of sun with high temperatures around 80 degrees. Friday, sunshine with a high temperature around 78. Saturday, chance of showers with a high temperature around 77 degrees. Sunday, showers and thunderstorms with a high temperature around 82 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 80.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
This is a WCPT 820 Heartland Signal News Minute.
His job is to defend us and protect and defend us, not declare war on us.
That's Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth speaking on WCPT's Live, Local, and Progressive 3 days after President Donald Trump posted on his website Truth Social that Chicago was about to find out why the Department of Defense is called the Department of War, a reference to the executive order Trump signed last week, rebranding the Pentagon the Department of War.
To the tune of $2 billion. That's what it's going to cost, by the way, to rename the DOD into the Department of War. Do I think that he'll try to activate National Guardsmen from other states, red states, and send them into Chicago? Yes. But we're not going to give him the satisfaction of being able to say that, these National Guardsmen will be doing anything other than what they're doing in D.C., which is picking up garbage.
For WCPT 820 and Heartland Signal, I'm Andy Miles.
As a veteran, you get a lot of advice, but wisdom's harder to come by. A lot of people imagine themselves in our shoes without understanding the weight on our shoulders. The truth is, few can understand the pressure of finding your own way after serving in the military. But few isn't none. Steady yourself. You're not alone. You've got support. Learn more at maketheconnection.net.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
No detours, no distractions, just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
We're driving it home with Patti Vasquez with special guest hosts Elliott Serrano and Ken Mejia-Beal. It's a markedly different second hour of the show, but I guess it's going to be expected because
absolutely
a lot has been changing over time. And even within the past half hour during our conversation with Ellie Krug, the news just came over that ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live from the air indefinitely, apparently due to some comments made about the Charlie Kirk, which is whatever. So big media is now also bowing, and
this is how they win. This is exactly the playbook. When it starts with propaganda, then you erase the media. You create an internal enemy. It's kind of like, guys, we've seen this movie before. What is happening?
This is the thing that gets me.
What is happening?
I could never see, for all the complaints that I would hear during the Biden administration, and trust me, because I will hear folks on the right now saying, why do you keep complaining about Trump? There's nothing that Trump can do that would make you happy. And I'm like, seriously? You're the Let's Go Brandon crowd.
Yeah.
That did no matter what happened, they were complaining about anything that Biden did. They complained about it. I can you only imagine if Biden demanded that a show be taken off the air?
Like Fox and Friends,
like things like that. They would be crying about First Amendment and all this sort of thing.
I'm going to bring up something that I think I've brought up before, but this is my biggest issue, pet peeve in life. I am consistent, and I like consistency, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. I appreciate consistency. It makes me happy. My problem with the right is the inconsistency, because on one breath, they are cheering for the alligator concentration camps in Florida where people will die. And on the other hand, we're all supposed to mourn the loss of Charlie Kirk. Thank you, God, for stepping on my shoulders and keeping my mouth clean for Charlie Kirk. On one hand, they rage that there is a war on Christmas and that we can't say whatever we want to say. And then on the other hand, they want to take freedom of speech from people. On one hand, they love the right to bear arms. But on the other hand, they want to make sure that trans folks can't own guns. They are so inconsistent that I cannot wrap my mind around their ideology because there isn't one. And that is why they are so hard to figure out and they're so hard to combat, because they stand for nothing. They stand for nothing. And they'll probably be in my DMs before I even get to my car, but they stand for nothing at all.
Nothing at all. There's a meme going around. It was I really hated the Star Wars sequels, but now the idea of we beat fascism only for it to come back and be stupid doesn't seem that hard. That doesn't seem that far-fetched. We have stupider fashion now.
Yes.
Fascism.
Yes, we
do.
Right
now we have fascism, but it's dumb fascism.
It's outrageously dumb.
It's so, and again, okay, I'm going to step back in just a moment, and I need to frame it this way. Understand this. The current president was elected by 77 million people. Mm-hmm. That's about 22% of the total population of the United States. That is, if you have 5 people in a room, only one of them voted for that president. Mm-hmm. The fact that we let that one person in the room dictate to all the other folks in the room how their lives should be led is beyond me.
Well, I agree with you there, but this goes to a bigger issue, which is if we, I don't know, I'm not losing hope before your very eyes, people. When we get back our government, we have to, for the love of God, get rid of this electoral college. It must be done. Now, with that said, I understand that in this last instance, it wouldn't have worked. But this is what I think happens. In our government, the electoral college really does prohibit campaigning, because I do believe in messaging. And as liberals, we're not going into Arkansas. We're not going into Alabama. We're not going into those states. Why? Because we can't win. Conservatives are not going in. They're not coming to Illinois. They're not going to Maryland because they can't win. I think when we ban the Electoral College, we are going to force nationwide candidates to have some accountability for what they're exposing outside of their safeguards. And by that I mean, we will then force candidates to campaign in all 50 states. I think we have to start there and work our way backwards, if you will. But we have to make some big changes.
I think they need to bring back the fairness doctrine. You can't have networks like Fox News that go out there and preach everything, that make up stuff, but preach it as fact. And again, we've talked about this on the show, and Patty has talked about this on the show. Conservatives played a long game.
They always do.
For the 40 years, for how many years? They invested in media.
Yep.
They invested in local media. They invested in local radio stations. That's how you got someone like Rush Limbaugh rise to prominence. That's how you got, and on the other side, the liberal, we didn't play a long game. We kept thinking about the more, what's ahead of us.
I am going to push back on that a little bit. And my pushback to that is because I hear that all the time, and I've probably said it once or twice. But I think the bigger problem is we as liberals, most of us are working class people. We don't have the luxury of the long game. And I think that's a talking point that we don't really talk about very often. I'm from the south side of Chicago. I'm not from the best of neighborhoods. People are worried about how they are going to pay their bills next Friday. We don't have the luxury of playing the 40-year long game. That is where conservatives already have the upper hand. And that's something we don't talk about often. Is so many of us don't have the luxury of having the cards to play the long game is a huge luxury. It is a huge cheat code, if you will. Not all of us have that. Some of us have to, and I think our base acts urgently because our needs are urgent. When we are pushing for Medicare and Medicaid for all, there are folks saying we need to play the long game. I get it, but my grandma's dying today. My community's dying today. I don't have 40 years. So we have to put that in some kind of context when we say that. That's my whole point.
That's a good point, too. And I will say, it does drive me nuts. Now, with this whole thing going on with the California referendum for the redistricting,
yes,
I have gotten so many freaking emails from the Newsom campaign. Oh, they're coming after us. We need the money to do this.
Correct.
And I'm like,
I don't have it.
I don't have the money to give you right now for your campaign to do whatever. And that happened throughout the entire 2020 election. You know, the Democratic Party raised $1 billion.
Yes.
$1 billion in that election.
Correct.
And still lost.
Correct.
Still lost. And I'm there going, and yes, Democrats, we don't have the money to play a long game. But guess what? You know, there are billionaire Democrats. There are millionaire
absolutely.
Democrats.
Yes,
they are there. They are there. And although but I've gotten to the point where I'm not entirely convinced that they care about, you know.
I think they're empathetic. I think the liberals that are billionaire. I think
they're taking their $100 bills and.
I think they can be empathetic, not all of them, but I think there's a difference between empathy and actual experience. You can go to a fundraiser and raise money for the needy and raise money for the hungry. That in no way compares to going to bed hungry for days and days. You just have a different connection to it. And that's something that's lacking. There's a different connection when you've never experienced something.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Totally different connection.
I'm in that part of The Princess Bride where I'm in the pit of despair right now.
I've actually never seen The Princess Bride.
You've got to see this movie.
So this is a good time to break it up. I've never seen it.
The pit of despair. That's where I am right now. All right, I see calls coming in, but I know we've got a break that we've got to hit. So let's hit this break really quick, and when we come back, we'll devote what time we have left to our callers. You're listening to Driving at Home with Patti Vasquez with special guest hosts Ken Mejia-Beal and Elliott Serrano. We're coming to you on WCPT, the Heartland Signal, on the Alternative Talk 1150 KKNW in Seattle, as well as KTNF AM950 in Minnesota. We'll be right back.
The Rick Smith Show.
What comes of all of this chaos? Because look, it's fun to watch. It's interesting to watch as they're literally falling on their face. What does it mean to us? How bad does it get for us? We, the working people of this country, who don't have the kind of wealth to weather a storm. The ones who are going to probably lose our homes. To people like Donald Trump, who does have the wealth to weather the storm, or at least the credit.
The Rick Smith Show, weeknights at 7 on WCPT 820.
Today, 1 in 5 working-age Americans has a mental health condition.
People in all types of jobs and at all levels.
And the key to helping us succeed is a supportive and inclusive workplace.
All of us have a role to play in making that happen.
So what can I do to help?
As a CEO, I can set the tone for supportive culture.
As a manager, I can offer assistance and accommodations.
As a coworker, I can listen and be a source of support to my colleagues.
As someone with a mental health condition, I can ask for what I need to perform my best.
I can offer all employees the supports they need to deliver on the job. For the team
and for the business.
What can I do?
What can I do?
What can I do?
I can remind others
that we all benefit from workplaces that promote good mental health.
Mental health-friendly workplaces are more important than ever.
And all of us have a role to play in promoting them.
Learn more at whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
After my wife died, I felt like I lost everything, including my love of fishing. But one day, my granddaughter called, and I realized I still had a lot to look forward to. I got referred to a psychiatrist who explained depression can happen to anyone. Getting help doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. I just wish it made me better at fishing.
Mental health care is working for Diego. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Because facts matter. You are listening to WCPT 820.
Chicago continues to lead the way with progressive values and in preserving democracy. Your support of the Minocqua Brewing Company Super PAC efforts in Wisconsin and beyond strengthens the fight against MAGA Republicans. You can now purchase progressive beers like Labor Lager, Love Wins Fruited Sour, and the Resistance IPA in Chicago at Rogers Park Provisions, Diversity Beer, Wine, and Spirits in Lakeview, Park West Liquor, Wine, and Beer in Lincoln Park, Logan Square Liquors, and Tip Top Food and Liquors in Westtown. Visit MinocquaBrewingCompany.com for all their Chicagoland locations. As always, no matter how bad our sports teams are, please drink responsibly.
From city streets to political beats, you're driving it home with Patti Vasquez, where progressive talk fuels the ride.
Yes, this is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez with guest hosts Ken Mejia-Beal and Elliott Serrano. And we're heading into the home stretch here. Be sure to tune into the Rick Smith Show every weeknight at 7 and the Politics Bar with Jody Hamilton and Sean Smith-Pierce every weeknight at 8. And at 9, WCPT brings you the Matt McNeil Show from Minneapolis. And all our calls and texts have been made on the Credo mobile phone and text line, 773-763-9278. And WCPT listeners now get 25% off for 2 years at Credo Mobile with the code WCPT25. Credo Mobile, a progressive phone company that is better for all people and the planet. Visit credomobile.com. All right, before we bring this puppy into a landing, we've got Eric calling from Chicago. Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for taking my call. I was really, inspired by your conversation about playing the long game and reminded of an article I read recently about California and an effort they're doing to create a state agency that would collect federal tax dollars. And so rather than the federal government collecting those tax dollars from each individual, the state would collect it and then give one big check to the federal government. And in that sense, the state of California would be able to hold that money to make sure that the U.S. government was giving them their fair share. And I'm sick of seeing, progressive cities and states be the economic engines for a country that is taking us backwards. And so, I lived for many years in Kansas City and was always frustrated that you had Kansas City and St. Louis providing all the economic dollars for that state, and that state was inevitably always run by Republicans. And so, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what cities and states that are progressive can make or can use the power of the purse to make sure that we're not steamrolled.
Eric, thank you so much for calling. That was a great point. I think it's a great idea and something that we've talked about on this show millions of times. Is so many of the folks on the right look down at progressive states and cities. We are gassing this car. Like, if you take out all of our progressive dollars, this country does not operate fiscally. It just doesn't.
You hear all this stuff about people in Southern Illinois. They're like, we want to secede from Chicago.
Go for it.
Do it. Just
have fun.
Go. The city of Chicago. The city of Chicago pretty much generates all the tax support for the rest of the state.
Because no one is coming to visit Effingham.
Well, maybe 2 or 3 people.
But you know what I'm saying. I said what I said, and I'm not sorry.
Is there a Piggly Wiggly there at least?
I hope so.
Maybe.
But you know what I'm saying. When people are coming in, they're gonna go. They're coming to Chicago. They're going to New York. They're going to L.A.
Right.
They're not going to Effingham.
And that's why they always talk about. Well,
I love Effingham though.
Yeah, really. This whole thing, the whole fallacy that if we raise taxes in a city like Chicago or New York, it's going to make the millionaires leave, which is baloney.
No.
Because millionaires want to, again, New York has some of the has some pretty fair taxes from pretty hefty taxes there, but everybody wants to live there.
Correct.
And millionaires want to live there. They don't seem, because it's the media capital of the world.
Yes.
I get living in California. California again has has a progressive tax,
They
right?
do, yeah.
And is probably the top revenue generator in the United States. And you don't see people going, I got to get out of California because of the taxes here. So to that point, again, it is being made, coming up with a mechanism where states can say, okay, this is how much money we collected for the federal government, but we need more of a return on our end as opposed to it going to all these other states that are voting against our interests.
And I want to bring up something because we talk about taxes often. I'm going to make this quick. Taxes pay for stuff.
You need them.
Taxes.
Yeah, you need them. Yeah.
So when you look at states that aren't creating that revenue, those tax dollars, they have very little to show for it. When you go to states like New York and California and Illinois, and you do fall on hard times, there is a safety net. So we really have to, I think we talk about taxes as super negative. Taxes that's part of the social contract. Part of our social contract.
Part of the social contract. And conservatives, I know there are conservatives that listen to this station because we had a couple try calling in, and they didn't want to hold on the line, whatever. Mm-hmm. I've had so many conservatives talk about how great the tariffs are. Tariffs are taxes.
Yep.
And if you're going to tell me that the money that Trump says, well, we have all this money coming into our coffers now because of the tariffs, and it's so great, you just proved that taxes work.
Yep, 100%.
But instead of making the consumer and all these small businesses, which, by the way, are going out of business because of said tariffs, let's make that 1% pay their share. Pay those taxes, because Republicans are, if they're okay with tariffs, they're saying they're okay with taxes.
Yes.
If you are a quote-unquote Republican, if you're a quote-unquote conservative and you're okay with tariffs, you're okay with taxes. Shut up about we can't have all these taxes on everybody else.
Correct.
Roosevelt is on the line. We want to have him.
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, you're our last caller of the show. How you doing?
I'm always the last caller. Thank you for taking my call.
I need Roosevelt. I am really down right now. Can you bring me up? Bring us up.
I don't know. I don't know if I can.
All right, I'm leaving.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, here we go. No, this is just practically something that nobody brings up. So I'm sure you gentlemen are familiar with what happened lately with Kash Patel and the scuffle he got into with the Democrats. And he's going to continue, from what I understand. He's going to be going up against, I don't know, whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, do you guys recall, because I don't remember, do you guys recall what happened in Minnesota, a month and a half ago with the Democrats that were killed, the two of them? Do you guys remember any kind of investigation from the FBI or
Absolutely not.
Okay, because I thought to myself, wait a minute, there's something wrong with this picture, and I didn't, it didn't sink at the time. It didn't sink because the governor there, he took charge of everything, but there was no presence of Kash Patel or anybody under his command, or to be in front of the media and at least update or say something, you're doing something. So that's one of my points. Another point is, whatever happened to the guy that made an attempt on Trump? How come there's no information about him
at the golf course? You mean the one at the golf course?
No.
Oh, the kid.
No.
He means the shooting.
The kid. Remember Trump? Yeah. Remember Trump raised his arm and the fight fight. Whatever happened to him? How come? Because I noticed that this kid, they're making him to be a Democrat. He started that. Trump started that. But I don't remember Trump doing that with that kid that had made an attempt on Trump's life. And there was no Kash. I don't remember Kash Patel making a big deal out of it like they're doing with this kid. They're forcing it on the Democratic Party no matter what. And they started from the get-go. And by the way, Mary Miller from the 15th District, Illinois, Republican, she also got at the Capitol to say it was the radical left. They followed suit of Trump. And by the way, Trump does the whistle, the dog whistles, and they just follow suit. And there were so many of them, including that guy. I can't think of his name. Republican, of course, the guy that had said that it was a visitors or tourist thing January 6th. I don't remember that guy, but I know he's Republican. But he also said the same thing. They're getting ready to do to make him a statue of Charlie Kirk.
Sweet.
So that was my two questions that I had for you guys. So basically, I don't.
Yeah, the representative in question, by the way, was Melissa Hortman, Speaker in the Minnesota House of Representatives. She was killed with her husband, Mark Hortman, and also the dog. Their dog was killed. I remember hearing that and being just utterly appalled by it. And the bit with Trump, they're talking about all the thing about flags at half-staff and so on. When Trump said he didn't want to talk to the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, because Tim Walz is he's out there. There's no point in talking to him and so on. Okay, can I tell you something? For that, I hold media responsible. I hold legacy media. I hold ABC, CNN, CBS, all of them responsible. They decide to move on to the next thing, and add to that every time this president takes issue with anything they do or say, they just kowtow and they keep repeating the same talking points. So. Beyond that, Roosevelt, I have no answers for you. I have no answers.
One more thing about Charlie Kirk.
60 seconds, buddy, and please be careful because at this point, anything having to do with Charlie Kirk can be an issue.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy. I'm sorry. I didn't want to go there. And when Jimmy Kimmel gets canceled for anything having to do with Charlie Kirk, I don't want to have anything happen to the station.
Same.
And I have too much respect for the people here, and I also, and that unfortunately that's where we are right now in this country. All right. On that note, you know what?
If you go for it.
Coming up next is Rick Smith.
There you go.
That's it. This has been the Driving Home with Patti Vasquez. I certainly hope tomorrow's hosts don't hit such rough waters like we have. I feel kind of even bad that the first hour we were laughing. It seem like shouldn't be laughing right now. We need to focus, but we need to feed our better wolves. We need joy. Yeah. All right, folks, be good to each other. See you next time.
Every day, 70,000 puppies or kittens are born in the U.S. Cute, right? Well, what's not cute is that half of all litters are accidents. And when a kitten has a litter of oopsies and a puppy has a litter of uh-ohs, pretty soon you have thousands and thousands of OMGs. And that leads to millions of pets being killed in shelters each year. But if 80% of people with pets say they believe in spaying and neutering, then what gives? Turns out that those sweet little fuzzballs can get pregnant sooner than you think. A lot sooner. But here's the good news. You can stop the accident before it happens. You just have to remember one number, 4, as in 4 months. When you bring home Maggie or Ruby or Puddles or Clyde, get them fixed at 4 months old. It can be old enough to get pregnant, and it's definitely young enough to make a difference. Prevent more. Fix at month 4. Visit fixat4.com for more information. Brought to you by Best Friends Animal Society.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs.